The year was 1979, the year when ESPN launched their first live episode with the program SportsCenter. The Sahara Desert snowed for the first time, and women were wearing dresses over turtleneck shirts.
While all of this was happening, an English entrepreneur, Michael Aldrich, was sitting in his office at Reed Efficient Computers in Sussex, UK, about to get the idea to create one of the most groundbreaking inventions to this day. He received a 26-inch domestic TV that had a note on it asking for his assessment, and since his company also created TVs, it was not unusual for him to be asked to give feedback. Because he manufactured computers, it wasn't one of his priorities, so the TV continued to sit in the corner of his office collecting dust for a month.
During this month, he learned that this was no ordinary TV. It turned out to be a prototype called Prestel, created by the Post Office, Postal Telegraph and Telephone, or PTT. Prestel enabled you to receive text information on your TV instead of broadcasting. The plan was to be paid by commercial services with information from independent information providers. Aldrich was interested, so he did a little bit of research on the idea and business model, but found no way to collect money from it. The TV then continued to sit in the corner of his office without being switched on.
While you may think one person created online shopping, it was actually a group of multiple people. One day, an engineer, Peter Champion, came by Aldrich's office and asked if he may strip the TV to see the innards. Since the TV was just going to collect dust, Aldrich replied, "Be my guest." A couple of weeks later, Champion came back and informed Aldrich that there was a chipset with a dial-up modem. He also found a character generator and an autodialer that could hold 4 telephone numbers.
Welcome to the show, Mariah.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. I love this show.
Aw, thank you. So, can you explain those big scary words to us?
Sure thing, Charlie. A chipset is essentially like a traffic control center. It decides what is compatible with the motherboard. The CPU, central processing unit, RAM, random access memory, and the hard drive, main storage, is all part of the chipset. A dial-up modem is designed to transfer data using telephone lines within the telephone network.
Wow, that was really informative.
Well, at least I know what it is.
You look here.
Anyway, Champion and Aldrich started discussing the findings, and Champion informed Aldrich that if they could build a controller for one of their computers, he could connect it to the TV just like the Prestel.
Aldrich sat on the idea for a couple months until one night he was walking with his wife, Sandy, in the forest behind his house. They started talking about the dreaded trip to the town center to buy groceries when Aldrich suddenly thought about the Prestel idea. He told Sandy how he could connect the TV up to the supermarket to buy groceries, and they frantically ran back to the house and started planning.
Aldrich became so excited about his idea. He had plans for telemarketing, banking, shopping, the list goes on and on. Aldrich and Champion decided that they need feedback from the community, but they didn't want anyone to know about their idea until they fully understood it themselves. So, they made a simple plan.
They would go to the Data Entry Management Association conference, far away, run out a small venue area and gauge people's reactions on the TV. Sandy would operate the TV, while a green tablecloth hid Champion underneath the table so he could budge the connection on a secret cue. They ended up staying there for 3 days, but it was worth it. The visitors loved the quality, and especially the shopping from home feature. After everything was over, they packed up their stuff and hot-tailed it back to Sussex.
With the little number of people knowing about their plan, they still had to manufacture the TVs. So, Jim Bethel created the entire interface to work the system, while Roger Newman and his team designed a multi-port controller.
Hello and welcome back. Before the commercial break, Mariah gave us an excellent explanation on lots of challenging technology words. So now we're going to continue that, but this time with a multi-port controller.
It's a device that transmits data to peripheral devices like printers, speakers, and keyboards.
Well, that was very short compared to your last explanations.
Look, that was as basic.
Oh, look, it looks like we're running out of time.
What?
Thank you all for coming.
Wait! Where were we? Oh yeah, right. After everything was ready, Aldrich set the public release date for April 1980. Once they released it in early April, no one could understand the concept and called them crazy for even attempting to launch it. So, in July, they tried it again, but instead of selling it to the public, they sold it to big investors, which started the first business-to-business B2B in 1981. 3 years later, Aldrich's dream became a reality.
In 1984, the Gatehead Shopping Information Services, SIS, published teleshopping to consumers, starting what we know today as business-to-consumer or e-commerce. In May that same year, Jane Snowball, a 72-year-old grandma, picked up her TV remote, sat in her armchair, and ordered eggs, cornflakes, and margarine from Tesco, a United Kingdom-based grocery store, completing the first e-commerce transaction. She ended up loving how she didn't have to get out of her house to go to the shops.
What do you think of it?
I think it's wonderful.
This would later be known as the first online shopping order.
Sadly, business-to-consumer never took off until 1990 with the invention of the internet. With the internet, however, corporations have become established, exponentially helping online shopping grow. In 1994, for instance, Jeff Bezos created the #1 leading company called Amazon. In 1995, Pierre Omidyar created eBay. In 2005, Rob Kalin, Chris McGuire, and Ham Shafik created Etsy. In 2010, Jack Ma created AliExpress. Finally, in 2010, Peter Zolchevsky created Wish. But there are so many more companies out there. As a matter of fact, online shopping has grown so much that companies like Honey, a free online coupon finder, have been able to make a living.
According to Marist College and National Public Radio, almost 76% of American adults do online shopping as of 2019. Online shopping has grown from 1.32 billion shoppers worldwide in 2014 to 1.92 billion as of 2019, and is expected to keep growing with a predicted number of 2.14 billion online shoppers by 2021, according to Statista.com.
So many people are satisfied with what online shopping has become. Without the dust-collecting TV and Michael never giving up on his idea, online shopping wouldn't exist. With more people turning to online shopping for things they can't find in stores, have better deals, and to save time. Thank you, Michael Aldrich, Sandy Aldrich, Peter Champion,
Jim Bethwell, Roger Newman, and Jane Snowball for letting this idea
become a reality.